Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Intuitive Angling. Much appreciated you guys watching the video. And you probably noticed the sort of a funny title of this video, just called Bass. And the reason I put that up there is Matt Steffen and I were talking on the phone yesterday, and Matt got thinking about it. It's like, I wonder how a video would go if you just called it Bass, if anyone would watch it, because we're always trying to brainstorm, about, his channel, my channel, how to make them better, and about how difficult it is to get people to watch the video simply because Matt and I both got started late into YouTube, and there's so many videos that's been put out. So I just wanted to do a little experiment here to see how this video would go if I called it Bass. But anyway, the point of today's video is I'm gonna talk about two fishing trips that I've been on in my life that really stood out to me. Actually, they were two people that I took fishing, and there's pretty neat stories behind it. And the impact, the long-lasting impact that those two trips had on me and the people that went on them both. I think you guys might enjoy the stories here. Real quick, just want to remind everybody, if you guys hadn't a chance, please hit that View Products tab that's on the video, at the bottom of the screen. That's one of the best. If you want to help support the channel here, that's one of the best ways you can do it. It's like 30 products. I recommend that you guys check them out. All you got to do is just click on one of the products and look at them. And the channel gets a small proceeds of that portion of that clicking on from YouTube. So much appreciated with that. Okay, guys, let's talk about two trips that stand out in my mind. I'll never forget them. I mean, they're two fishing trips I took with two, really special people. I've lost track of how many fishing trips I've been on. Literally, I mean, it's I don't know. Like I said, you figure the number up. I probably averaged fishing anywhere between 120 to 200 days a year over the last 45 years. So, I mean, that's tens of thousands of days in the water, and these two stand out. So anyway, the first one I want to tell you guys about is I had a chance. For years, I owned a 40-acre lake up north of Lamar. It's where I lived up there. And I tried to make this lake into like a bass factory. And there's probably some people that have watching this video that have fished before. I've had a lot of pros up there fishing it. But anyway, I had a request. It's been about probably 20 years ago. There was a dad that contacted me, and his son was terminal. He had terminal cancer, and he didn't have very long to live. And he wanted to know if I, could take him fishing, and, absolutely, come on up. So anyway, we get up there, and his dad brings his son up there. He was probably, I'm gonna guess, 7 or 8 years old, something like that. And he couldn't walk. He was in a wheelchair, late stages and everything. Just heartbreaking to tell you that. It's just, I can't even imagine now going through that as a parent myself. But anyway, he could barely cast. He liked to fish, but he was just so, ravaged by the cancer. It was hard for him to cast. So we got the wheelchair, put him in my boat, launched the boat, started fishing the lake, and we were fishing for probably 2 or 3 hours, and he hadn't caught anything. And anyway, right towards the end of the day, I put on a Senko for him, soft plastic stick bait, and just out of a miraculous gift from the universe, he caught like a 4 or 5 pound bass on the Senko. And just to see the excitement on this kid's face, that was just, I'll never forget it. It's like he just lit up, and you could tell he just forgot everything about his situation. And I'll never forget, how grateful I was for that bass hitting him so he could reel that in and catch it himself. And then his dad contacted me like a month later, and he'd passed away. So that was a trip I'll never forget there. The next one, and this is, again, things that bass do to people, things, how special bass are in people's lives. I was involved with a Wounded Warrior tournament, and I got drawn out with an Iraq veteran, a sniper that was in Iraq, and he was my partner for the day. And anyway, he had been shot in the head by another sniper. Ironically, he was a sniper, and he got shot in the head by another sniper. And he was telling me the story about it, and he actually, they pronounced him dead on the field. He was like dead for several minutes, and they resuscitated him, brought him back to life. and he had a years of recovery. He was like in the hospital for like 2 or 3 years, and I fished with him after he'd been out of the hospital for about probably 9 months or so. And this person was for what he had been through, you can't even imagine, you know, what he was telling me, what he had been through physically just after that particular incident where he got shot. You know, he basically lost control, lost function of most of his body parts. It was, you know, he mentally, you know, since it was a brain injury, you know, he dealt with, you know, a lot of neurological issues. He was still with it, but he was just slammed up as you could possibly be, depressed as well. And anyway, we were fishing. It was the Wounded Warrior tournament was on Truman Lake, and again, another one of those things. We were out fishing and we were talking, and I was trying to get him, you know, I was, you know, just listening to whatever he was willing to share. And he started catching some fish, and he wound up catching 2 or 3, you know, nice bass the day we were fishing there. And it's the same thing. It's like when he caught those bass, it was like that little kid. He just lit up, and it's like his condition and everything around him, he just forgot about it for a second. For a split second, he forgot about everything that he had been through and the condition he was in. And that's one of the cool things about bass. That's how special bass are. Is they, you know, we don't give them enough credit, but bass fishing, guys, is therapeutic, man. It is extremely therapeutic, like you cannot believe. And that's why you guys will hear me preach environmental issues on this channel all the time, talk about climate change. I dog people that pollute our waters, developers, because I know how therapeutic and healing nature and bass fishing is to people. Those are just 2 examples. I could give you another 50 examples of guys I've fished with over the years along the same lines. So anyway, just wanted to throw out a quick video there just to share key stories with you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.